Cryptonaut podcast. My name is Mark Stores, and hanging out with me as always is
Rob Morphy.
Uncle Robert. Thank you so much. And
Course.
Are you filling in for Chris?
Yeah.
Excellent. Cool. Course and Uncle Rob here doing it, making it happen. Skin of our teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, we've had
struggling today.
We've had a whole hell of a week, a day, a thing. Chris had situations at his house. I had all kinds of family shit.
Man.
We'll talk about Chris's situations probably on Patreon because it might be the most harrowing thing I've ever been a part of. And shocker, I made it worse.
Wow.
I actually made the situation worse.
Yeah, you actually did.
I did.
I can't wait to hear it.
And then me and Bill made it better.
And then Chris and Bill's MacGyver-like ingenuities came through. Yeah, it was a whole thing. But we're going to talk about that on Patreon. This week,
Wow.
we're getting in a boat this week.
Yes.
You know where we're going.
I mean, I do.
Okay, but it's across the pond.
Yes, it is.
We're going to go over to Britain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great Britain.
Where we came from originally. My people were they were on a boat. Oh, no, they weren't. My people from Italy. My other people, my dad's people, did they come over?
Sure
they did. Yeah, they were English.
I'm sure you got Anglo in you, buddy.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that's family came over on the boat.
Yeah, I don't think you're
my
pure Ellis Island stock. I'm not saying you're Plymouth Rock, but you definitely, we're all mixed bags. We're all American mutts.
Third, maybe generation.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Well,
And there's definitely going to be some.
I'm hanging on to my English heritage.
In terms of the UK, the broader spectrum, Irish, English, Scottish, Welsh, and a lot of the people that live around here.
I'm not really sure my dad. I'm not sure when his folks came over.
Yeah,
But
none of
they
us
may have
do.
were born here. Who knows? I have no idea. I really don't know.
Well, some came in on Ellis Island, I'm sure.
Before
But others were
no,
lingering.
they were here before Ellis Island for sure. They were like 1800s people. They were here.
Right on.
Yeah, so
Okay.
maybe they came over on the OG boats. But this week we're talking about Bizarre Beasts of Britain, Volume 1, England's Eerie Cryptids.
Yeah.
Oh,
Snap.
little cryptid love for all you folks out there. We had the sheep squatch.
We
Now we're
did.
back to some more cryptids. Stoked, loving the monsters. Let's get started with from its craggy peaks and lonely lakes to its misty moors and fetid peat-filled bogs. Great Britain boasts an alarming array of anomalous animals. England specifically sports more than its fair share of crazy cryptids. And there's a growing body of evidence concerning modern encounters with what appear to be genuine flesh and blood animals.
No fucking around.
Genuine.
Genuine.
Not the disingenuine.
Genuine. How do you
Not
say
deceitful.
Yeah.
Genuine.
that? Genuine.
I suppose you could say genuine, but I wouldn't.
If I'm in a documentary about being genuine, I want to
So,
be sure that I can do this.
I'm glad you brought that up because that means don't come to me to learn how to pronounce a word. Because that's your first fucking
Listen,
mistake.
I will walk over to you, good sir.
Will you?
Yeah.
Finally pronouncing the
And
L's, are
give
we?
you a big hug.
Wow.
A
You
big
mean hoog?
yeah.
A big hoog?
Is it a nuclear hoog?
Yeah. No, a nuclear.
Nuclear hoog.
Yeah,
nuclear.
I love it. We're here. We're doing it. Robert, let's get started, buddy.
Okay, so first off, just because, I would have needed this, I'm just going to throw out a little bit of context.
Sure.
Consisting of England, Scotland, and Wales, the island of Great Britain, which is not to be confused with the much more expansive United Kingdom. Then we're talking about Canada and Australia, New Zealand.
Gotcha.
So this is just, and Ireland, this is just the island itself that has England, Scotland, and then Wales tucked in there.
Okay, cool.
So that is what this is all about.
Gotcha.
Just so you know.
Okay.
Okay. Has a rich tradition of folklore, some of which date back thousands of years. Though much of Britain's epic lineage of lore pertains to various dragons, lake monsters, a coterie of crimson-capped goblins, all manner of high-flying fairies, and other even more ferocious phantasmagorical fiends, in this episode we'll be offering a sample platter of some of the more gonzo members of England's modern, not-so-metaphysical menagerie. So, less fairies, less banshees, more...
Cryptids.
Yeah.
All right, man. We got a little app platter here at Cryptids.
Mhm.
I like it. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Like we're at Applebee's. We're sitting
Just-
down for
It's
some
a
apps.
Snacking on some
sample
cryptids.
platter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. 2 for 1,
Just like
dog.
it says.
There you go. There it is.
Fair enough.
Mott
All right.
sticks.
Oh, some mott sticks.
Some dip.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Couple
The
of chicken.
spinach artichoke dip.
Oh, the spinach
Love
artichoke
that.
dip is the shit.
That's the best
dude.
thing that they have.
It is.
It is
Honestly, out of all the meals,
Otherwise,
they
they're
have,
crap.
that's the one, and everything else
Yeah.
is garbage diarrhea.
Yeah.
Continue, Robert.
Fair enough. As fans of the podcast know, this will not be our first visit to the not-so-sunny shores of England. In the past, we've covered such paranormal luminaries as the Owlman of Cornwall, the Risley Silverman, the Bat Beast of Kent, which a fucking stumblefuck of a creature. I love that thing. That was one of the first ones we ever did.
Is that one where Chris passed out?
I don't know.
I think is that the one with the dragon wing?
No, it's not the dragon.
That's
it was the one
where
where like the headless bat thing waddles out of the forest in Kent.
I think it actually might be the one where he passes out.
Oh,
It
was
might
it?
be. I mean, we were drinking
But
pretty
there was like
heavily.
a ship, and it was like a bat. Looked like a bat
no
wing
ships.
ship thing.
No, that's
Yeah.
I thought that was
the dragon wing bat wing ship thing that ended up being a mistake. So that podcast never got released. Was the original
okay.
Demons of Devil's Swamp or whatever we
Oh
called it.
yeah. Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Even though I fought hard to keep that
You
original
did,
pod.
and I said,
you guys,
buddy,
no, we made a fundamental mistake. I'm like, we'll own it later.
no, we won't.
yeah.
All right. Chris passing out regardless.
And then you guys erased it to get rid of it.
Here we go.
I don't even know what
Sons
you're
of
talking
bitches.
about.
I'll tell you about it later.
Nothing happened.
It's pretty
So
funny.
yeah, Kent. I like the Bat Beast of Kent. I like all of these things. It's full of cool shit. The Sloptastic, I'm continuing the list now. Nameless Thing of Berkeley Square, as well as the creepy as the Dickens Charterhouse entities, not to mention the perpetually horny graveyard-dwelling tree porpoise known as the Grampus, which of course we all know
Love
and
it.
love, and the now legendary exploits of the Isle of Wight's own Sam the Sandown Ghost Clown, which I think, with the popularity of our episode as well as my guest shot on Astonishing Legends, we've done a great thing on behalf of bringing it into the mainstream a little more.
Yeah, man.
So I'm proud of us for that.
And
if
of
nothing
course,
else.
shout outs to Tom G, who
Always.
hooked us up with
Yo,
that. 'cause
yeah.
that is,
Absolutely.
like, dude is the best.
Mad credit. Mad
Tom G,
credit.
what up?
But today we're getting back to our bread and butter by focusing specifically on England's ever-growing contingent of curious creatures. So that's the only country we'll be dealing with today.
Fair, dude.
Before we begin, I want to make it clear that as important as they are in the realm of cryptozoology, and as amazing as it is that as recently as 2022 their existence in the British Isles was confirmed by irrefutable DNA evidence, we will not be including any so-called ABCs, alien big cats, such as the Exmoor beast or the beast of Bodmin Moor, because frankly, they're just not fucking weird enough. And Mark and I had a little discussion earlier today.
We did.
He stumbled across a reference to alien sharks, and he made the same tragic mistake I made as a kid. When I read Alien Big Cats when I was really young, I think it was probably in Janet and Colin Board's book about beasts or something along the lines, I was like, holy fuck. Like, I was thinking like lynxes with like weird antennas and fucking
Of
tentacles.
course, they're blue and they have like blue
sloppy.
stripes, laser eyes. Yeah,
Yeah.
And then I found out, oh no, it's a fucking cheetah that ought not be there.
Yeah, Alien Sharks threw me. I was actually looking for some new paranormal show, and I was on Discovery Plus. I'm like, Alien Sharks. I'm like, whoa, this is going to be wicked, dumb, and amazing. And I'm like, oh, it's just like the goblin shark. It lives deep underground in the crevasses of whatever, and then it swims up, so it's
Yeah.
not supposed to be here. And I'm like, I don't care about misplaced sharks.
Yes, that's what it should be. Misplaced animals.
Yeah, and as far as alien big cats, I do think that's kind of neat, but like around here, we have alien big cats in New York because they come down from the Adirondack region and they come this way
well, yeah.
for food.
That's not a cryptid. It's just
Exactly.
Yeah.
a thing
It's
that
a fucking
migrated.
bobcat.
Right.
That's the thing. When it's not supposed to be somewhere, I mean, I know, and especially British, cryptozoologists would fight this, and I would give them that. To me, you're not a cryptid if we fucking know about you.
You better come out
No,
of a
that's
spaceship
right. That's the
or
whole-
phase into our
Yeah.
reality.
Or be born
right.
and live and be a normal part of terrestrial Earth just that hasn't been discovered yet.
Yeah, whatever.
Just be a brand new fucking
if you
species.
don't have some kind of cool superpower, I'm not going to care.
All right, well, my definition
Well,
of cryptid is a
yeah,
lot more
like,
limited than that.
Do you have laser eyes? If not, no fucks are given.
All right, fair enough.
There you go.
So my point is, don't expect to fucking read about these things or hear about these things as I read it.
Can you shoot Freddy Krueger like claws from your paws?
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Like
think
that.
I've ever seen the cryptid that could do that.
Well, show it to me and we'll fucking. There you go.
We're going to run with it.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
All right.
So now
kind
we
of
know.
weird.
At this point, a hearty thanks must be extended to renowned cryptozoologist and author Dr. Carl Schuker, particularly for his August 23rd, 2012 blog on Schuker Nature titled the top 10 paranormal beasts in Britain, horsemen, horned cats, and other horrors, which served as an inspiration for this episode. So without further ado, I'd like to begin with a virtually unknown creature which has been dubbed the Green Drive Beast. I remember loving the story largely due to an incredible illustration, which I will send you, Mark, that appeared in the Daily Mail article by artist Sam Sheeran, who drew the big bunny-like beastie after talking to several eyewitnesses.
Yeah, actually, he's on Instagram. His art is fucking dope, dude. I follow him. I think we've talked a couple of times. He's a super cool dude, and he's got like wicked art, man. He's awesome.
He was actually on the scene doing like the eyewitness sketches, like a police
wicked.
artist would,
cool,
of
man.
this creature.
Hell yeah, dude.
And it's amazing. And I'm sure you'll probably include it in the artwork for this or something,
I'm sure.
because I have artwork representing a bunch of the stuff that I meant to send to you guys, and of course did not, because that is what I do. But
Sure.
But his drawing, I remember in the early days, early years of American Monsters, looking at this article going, oh my God, that's dope as shit.
Yeah, no, his work is wicked. Check him out again on Instagram. He's awesome.
Also known as the Beast of Lytham, due to the fact that this genuinely bizarre creature was originally seen lurking in the forests surrounding the town of Lytham St. Anne's, a small seaside town on the coast of the Irish Sea, in the borough of Fetid in Lancashire. Of course, I'm murdering all these words.
It's
that's
fine.
okay.
You said Burrow, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, don't worry. They listen.
Filthy?
Yeah, it could be
Wild?
something. I'd
Our
wager
folks
something
across
like
the pond.
They're understanding.
They've
been very
understand.
kind to
Yes.
the speech impediment known as being American.
Yes.
And fucking dumb. There it is.
Perfect.
The following is an excerpt from one of the earliest reports, an article by Jaya Nareen, published in the May 6th, 2005 edition of the Daily Mail, courtesy of the good folks over at mysteriousbritain.co.uk. So thank you guys for reprinting this article for me. Dubbed the Beast of Green Drive, the mysterious creature has been spotted roaming the thick woodland at a beauty spot, a phrase I've never heard before, but I get it. A little glade where you want to have a picnic, a beauty spot.
Okay, maybe a salon.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't think it's a salon. Maybe it is.
No, I think
What
it's
a
just
beauty
a
spot
picturesque
is.
spot where everybody goes.
That's what I'm thinking.
It could
Right,
be
right.
hair crafters. Don't take it off the table.
All right, fair enough.
Shut up.
Oh, okay. About as tall as a collie dog, but with huge ears, a large mouth, and a lolloping gait, the peculiar animal has caused a frenzy of chatter in the normally sedate Lytham St. Anne's, Lancashire. The creature, according to witnesses, is seen mainly in the largely wooded area of Green Drive, where there is plenty of brush and scrub to conceal a large animal. Sandra Sturrock, who was walking her dog when she came face to face with the beast, said, I caught sight of something large ahead of us. It was as large as a collie, light in color with large, sticking up ears. It was watching me and my dog. I stood completely still for several minutes trying to see it more closely. I called my dog and put him on the lead and slowly inched towards the animal to get a better look, but it ran off. I went to where it had been, and my dog went mad, sniffing all around the area. She added, I have never seen anything like this before. I lived in Cheshire for 10 years and frequently saw foxes and the odd deer. They usually disappear quite quickly and do not remain watching you. End quote. The next encounter was as brief as it was disconcerting. Quote, Willie Davidson, 59, a painter and decorator, said, I was playing bowls. I assume the instrumental bowls that make like the ringing sound when you rub around the rim, maybe? I don't know what playing bowls is.
Is that even a thing? Can you
Or maybe
play
it's a game.
Well, that's what I mean. They have
Bowl.
phrases for all kinds of playing bowls. Could be.
So this dude's playing bowls, whatever that means.
I mean, are you just like going for a walk? I'm playing bowls. Going
Oh,
for
do
a
they
walk.
mean like smoking bowls?
Yeah,
well.
dude.
Playing bowls.
Fucking ripping a bong in the English countryside.
I mean, Willie Davidson is a painter and decorator. So, I mean, I wouldn't
Yeah.
put it, I mean, a lot of artists like to expand their perspectives.
All right, man. Let's fucking paint bowls, brother.
Near Green Drive, when I heard a snarl behind me, it was like a monster out of Doctor Who, and it needs tracking down. So I fucking love that reference.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
But I mean, that is, I mean, it says nothing about the actual appearance of the beast,
All right,
but
but-
it does say that it is very foreign to his experience and the experience of someone that now has access to cable probably and zoos. I mean, a 21st century human being
Yeah.
knows what animals look like even when they've never seen them necessarily, or they don't live anywhere near them.
Yeah, and the,
their own eyes,
snarling is not a great sign.
No,
nobody wants that.
Intimidating.
No.
Behind you, especially.
Yeah, especially then you're like, gosh, you're going to
Prey animals don't snarl at you. They sometimes make weird noises, but they usually just scoop.
Grunts and we're like, "Brr."
Yeah.
Right.
But like, yeah.
That was a perfect prey blunt.
Yeah, excellent.
They do.
So it's true.
That's the noise I hear every morning with a fox in my yard. Like that. And it's like, oh, there's a fox.
What?
There you go.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Another woman who did not want to be named said, I was walking along the drive when I saw it in the fields alongside. I have no idea what it was. I could tell it was the size of a Labrador, but it looked more like a hare. It can't have been either. It was surreal. So again, this
is the first one. Have
funny vibe.
Like big, slightly big dog with hare ears or rabbit ears. Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a strange synthesis.
But this one just said
there.
actually size of a Labrador, but the other one just said it looked like a collie. So
and your parents had a collie for years.
Yeah.
That's a fairly decent sized dog.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're not tiny.
I mean, they're recognizable with the hair, the coloring.
Right.
You see a fucking collie.
So
it's a fucking
this
collie.
thing was depicted by Sheeran's artwork, especially as this like hairy, semi-greenish, almost dog-like thing with an oddly shaped skull and clearly large rabbit-like ears.
Interesting.
And again, you guys will see it soon enough, and whoever's listening to this has probably seen it before they've even clicked on it. So it's really intriguing and surreal, as the eyewitness said. Skeptics were quick to attribute the strange sightings to a rare rogue muntjac or barking deer, one that had evidently descended from the last herd brought to Lytham Hall by the local squire for a private menagerie over a century ago. Though these same zoological party poopers seem to be at a loss as far as explaining how a breeding population of these unique, fang-bearing creatures could have continued to exist in the area for over 100 years without being previously sighted. Not to mention how they evolved to have a bigger body, shaggier hair, and long, rabbit-like ears. So, during, so short of a period of time, you don't evolve in 100 years.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So... well, I'll keep reading instead of digressing here. Dr. Schuker further explicated, quote, alternatively known as barking deer, muntjac are not native to Britain. However, escapee specimens from captivity of Reeves muntjac, which are native to China, have established thriving populations in several regions of the country and are notable for their large, fang-like canine teeth, an incongruous feature for a deer. In general appearance, however, these small, elusive, Bambi-like animals display scant similarity to Green Drive's mystery beast.
So they got fanged deer over there?
Well, in China they do.
Huh.
You ever seen those like weird barking? They're like small deer.
No.
You see them in like nature docs. They got like sharp teeth, not for eating meat.
Okay, weird.
And they're
sucking
weird.
blood?
No, though vampire deer would seem to be an obvious
vampire
thing.
deer be fucking, dude. Not deer are out. Vampire deer are in.
I mean,
dude,
we haven't even touched not deer yet. That fucking shit show.
That's fucking common.
That
dog.
nightmare. Yeah.
All right, so we do
is.
have there is a connection to this, but it doesn't really fit anything that was described from the original creature at all.
As they're saying, first off,
Not
valid
really.
point. It doesn't look like what they're saying.
No, not at all.
Secondly, as he said, there are thriving populations of muntjac in England, as
Right.
well as zoos and in China and other
yeah.
places. So we know what they fucking look like, and it's not that.
Okay, fair.
Right.
The Daily Mail continued. A spokesman for Lancashire Police said, we have checked local zoos and farms, but nothing seems to be missing. It is very bizarre, adding, we have handed it over to the RSPCA to investigate. Experts at Chester Zoo were baffled after being shown the drawing of the Beast of Green Drive. A spokesman said last night, it does not look like any mammal currently alive. It looks more like a mythical beast to us. So that's what the zoologist or someone working at the zoo says.
I mean, fair.
Yeah. It doesn't look like something commonly seen.
No.
In another article titled The Beast of Green Drive, published on the Dark Tales blog on May 21st, 2019, the unnamed author writes, The story quickly gathered attention from national papers, and more witnesses came forward to describe their own sightings of the beast. One woman who claimed to have seen the animal in a field off Green Drive stated that it appeared to be similar to both a dog and a hare, but definitely not belonging to either species, as we mentioned before. The animal was sighted by a number of residents over a period of nearly a month in May 2005 before apparently disappearing again. The debunkers took yet another stab at dismissing this newly minted cryptid when, in an article published by the Lytham St. Anne's Express on September 4th, 2007, claimed that, quote, "The beast of Lytham is dead." In this latest attack, it was claimed that the creature was proven to be nothing more than a mangy fox that was picked up by the RSPCA on Sunday, September 2nd, 2007. Quote, "At lunchtime, from Lytham resident Suki Woodhouse, who trapped the animal in her house on North House Lane, and it was later put down by a local vet. RSPCA Animal Collection Officer Nick Green said, it was very elderly, the oldest fox I have ever had, and it was in very poor condition."
Man, they just trapped this thing in a house because it has, I mean, if it's a rabbit, I get it, but...
I don't know if it was rabid.
Oh, I'm saying, you know, they didn't say that it was. Like, it had mange, she trapped it in the house, and they're like, this is an old fox. Take it down.
Yeah.
Foxes aren't that big.
They're not. No, they're not big at all. Like,
just not that big.
The one on my yard's decent. I've been trying to get a picture of it. It's pretty decent size, but not nearly as big as what they're describing.
Not a fucking collie or a fucking lab.
Yeah, no way.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
For sure.
The woman who captured the fox, Suki Woodhouse, added, "It had hardly any hair because of mange, was very underweight and very confused and was struggling to see. We took it to a local vet in Lytham, and unfortunately it needed putting to sleep. I think it is what people have been seeing, and it had a good life." I don't know how she ascertained that, but I'll let Suki go with it.
Yeah, I mean, you're putting a lot on this fox, man. This poor old bastard. Jesus.
"It was just so old and ill, and it was on its last legs. It would have died naturally in the next couple of weeks. It just didn't put up any kind of fight when we picked it up, which is unusual for a fox. They are usually quite a handful," which fucking begs the question, how many foxes are you fucking stealing and putting in your house?
Yeah, no.
Ending on the note, this was the best thing for
it. She has a back room full of fox and are really pissed. Like, let me out. All right, yeah, weird. I don't think that that's at all tied to the beast that these people saw. Like, and so far off, as a matter.
Not surprisingly, I agree, and less surprisingly for me, Dr. Schuker also agrees. In regards to the fox being an explanation for the existence of the Green Drive beast, on his blog, Dr. Schuker concluded, "Eventually, sightings and interest in the Green Drive enigma faded, but in September 2007, a very old, mange-ridden fox bearing a superficial resemblance to certain descriptions of the beast was captured there, reviving interest and later being dubbed by the media as the correct explanation. Yet, how a very sick, elderly fox found 2 years after the classic sightings of a much more vibrant, larger creature can be deemed to be the same one and, as the latter is as mystifying as the beast itself." Perfectly said, I might add.
Yeah, no, right.
Yeah, no, whatever was seen, I mean, they're just kind of grasping at mangy fox straws here. They just keep grabbing foxes like, look what it is, it's the beast. And you're like, no, dog, totally not what I saw.
Yeah, I mean, you could come on and just be like, hey, maybe this is what you're saying. Instead of like, no, it's dead. I mean, the journalism here is...
Well, are you questioning the dailymail.co.uk? Because guess what? We got something on Patreon.
I question all the journal. They're all about, like, you want to sell shit. You want to get
of course.
Right.
You have to
That's what you're
sensationalize it. You got
I mean, it might have been a guest, like, science editor or the paper's science editor, and they always have a clear agenda to, like, poo-poo anything that seems untoward. And I get it. Don't instantly jump on the ancient alien bandwagon every time you see a fucking obelisk. Don't, let science have its fucking day. But on the other hand, don't pick something equally absurd and try to pass it off. Yeah. That is not reasonable.
No, you can easily just say, we found this thing, maybe this is the thing, instead of being like, no, this is it.
Like a wild
You're all
dog
dumb.
that has like
fox.
Weird snarls and fucking like leaves stuck in its hair that look like long ears to somebody from I mean, as absurd as that is, that's more plausible than a mangy fox.
If it was a cow with
a
collie with a bunch of fucked up shit on its head, like, all right, yeah, I get it. I could see that.
Maybe.
But even then.
Master cow.
A master cow.
A master cow.
One of the least seen animals in a bestiary.
No.
Yeah.
One of my favorite
D&D
villains.
Yeah.
The master cow.
Love the master cow.
I have never heard of the master cow till today, and I'm
I
delighted.
just invented it.
He just made it up.
I was well, the way you were going along with
I
it,
loved
you acted
it.
like you guys were in Master Cow Club in
I want a
fucking high
master cow
school.
shirt
We
right now.
We were.
See?
I'm wearing it. I'm drawing it.
More lies. More
lies
truths.
from Chris, and that's what I love.
Yeah.
That's what this
More
fucking podcast
lies from.
is
Lies from
founded
Chris.
on. Lies from Chris.
Oh man.
Me striving to tell the truth, Chris lying his head off, and that's what works.
Well, now the master cow is going to be big on Reddit. People are like, dude, you fucking hear about the master cow dog? I'll be like, oh, dude, fucking toads.
Are you guys ready for the next case? It's not the master cow.
Dude, bring me to Shuker Nation.
Oh boy.
All right.
Our next case takes us about 230 miles due south to the coastal city of Bath and involves another vexatious varmint, this one known to locals as the Beast of Brassknocker Hill. I had a good time drawing this baby years and years ago.
I remember this, actually.
This bizarre 4-foot-long mammalian monstrosity was described by an eyewitness as being a bear-like beast with primate, Jesus Christ, primate features and huge teeth with odd white rings around its eyes, which looks sort of like a spectacled bear, maybe. I'm not sure.
Sort
or
of.
a reverse raccoon.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you have a real mad one.
In July of 1979, Ron and Betty Harper discovered that the bark had been ripped off of their old oak tree by an animal with teeth at least 20 times larger. That sounds pretty epic right at this point. Than the squirrels usually found in the region.
Oh, you can't compare
You can't do that.
squirrel,
Right.
man.
I was so disappointed.
No, I know.
I was like, 20 times larger than what? Pit bulls?
Animal that was 20 times larger than an ant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
At least
Amazing.
half the size of a roach.
Now look at a squirrel. You see its little squirrel balls? 20 times larger than that. And you're like, all right, so that's a tennis ball. Like, sweet.
So I don't know squirrel tooth size, but I imagine 20 times bigger is,
Normal
I don't
size
know.
maybe? Like tooth?
I don't know,
Yeah.
like a dog's baby tooth?
Our teeth are like 20 times bigger than
A squirrel's?
squirrels, I would hope.
Have you compared your mouth to a squirrel's?
No.
Neither have I.
No, I don't
Don't
wanna,
feel bad.
I don't want to make out with one downtown with my friends.
Well, only if
so-
someone's there to take a picture for size
Oh,
comparison.
that's right. It's true.
Right.
That's true. All right, bring
For
out
science.
So yeah,
Get the tape measure.
we all
Chris.
felt
Science.
for science.
the disappointment for science.
You gotta make out squirrel for science.
Yeah, there you go.
They also noticed that the area, which was usually rife with birds and small wildlife, had become mysteriously barren. So maybe it's eating some shit.
Okay.
By August 1st, over 50 trees had been stripped of their branches in the area. The creature allegedly responsible for the tree mangling and overall decline in the local fauna was finally seen later that same month. While some assumed that the culprit was just another in a long line of alien big cats, the aforementioned, that are said to roam the British countryside, an eyewitness would soon come forward to describe something that was quite like any other creature ever seen in England. According to the all too brief account, a man who preferred to remain anonymous was driving on a desolate stretch of road through Monkton Combe at night when he encountered the bear-like creature, which was approximately 4 feet in length and bore 2 striking circular white rings around its eyes. The man presumably left post-haste, but no one knows what happened.
Right.
In September 1979, the West Holland newspaper Het Binnenhof published a story about the bizarre beast with the headline, and I'm going to own this, Beest van Bath Lagat Brutes Bos, which translates as Beast of Bath destroys British woods. The story reported that a creature was allegedly at large in Brassknocker Hill, terrorizing the local populace and devouring the trees in the forests with its Dracula-like teeth.
Dude.
So a little hyperbole on the part of Holland.
I like that all it's doing is just fucking up trees. It's like, I hate trees.
It might be
I hate
eating
trees.
animals, but yeah.
Like,
I know there are some animals that dig on trees to dull their claws or something.
yeah, I can't name any of them.
No,
but
we don't know shit
the
about
listeners
animals.
will let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
They'll be like, assholes.
Maybe.
It's a Barnaby or whatever. The fuck
I feel
it's
like though
called.
in this, and if you're doing that much, you would have chompers. You wouldn't have sharp. You'd have beaver chompers.
Yes.
and fucking,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
not-
Oh, there you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Predatory canines don't seem to behoove you in the tree strip.
They're not
this thing-
crushing trees by the dozens.
Yeah, but this thing is just like Hulk smashing trees.
Yeah.
Apparently,
is it a mega beaver? Is it
a master beaver?
a master beaver? There it is. Another well-known animal.
The fucking master beaver.
They exist. I'm just saying.
A master beaver is a thing?
Master
really?
examples of species exist.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I think you guys are lying to me, man.
I don't know.
Dumb.
I'm not saying it's in any biological book or acknowledged by science, but sometimes you just see a big honking ass beaver that's the biggest one ever. It's a master beaver.
It's a master beaver. Often seen palling around and drinking with king rats.
All right, the rat king. I like it.
Yeah, rat kings, king rats, as I call them.
All right, cool.
Out of respect for their station.
Okay, cool.
I'm saying.
All right, man. All right.
So,
fucking master beavers, ahoy, dog.
So the West Hollanders are being a bit hyperbolic with their beast, and we agreed that. I mean, when I hear of trees being stripped, to me it's claws, and it's usually looking for bugs.
Yeah,
you're feeding on termites or whatever the fuck,
out of there,
the grubs that are living in the wood.
Right.
But I don't know if this thing is using its claws or teeth. Like, I don't think there was any eyewitnesses that ever saw this thing mowing on a tree. It's just an assumption
it's
they made.
It's just destroying trees.
Yeah.
Okay.
And creatures are disappearing en masse too.
Property
Little
damage.
woodland
Maybe
critters.
its whole thing. Its whole jam is just property damage. Fuck it.
I mean, it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay. The story report, and I already covered that. During the next year, additional eyewitnesses came forward and described the still unclassified animal as everything from a gibbon to a lemur to a baboon.
Oh, cool.
Which is a haunting thing. And that was one of the weirdest descriptions, like a bear baboon hybrid with white rings around its eyes. That's kind of what I drew
but
when I drew my portrait of it.
It isn't cool.
What?
It's terrifying.
It's a master baboon.
It's cool in
it's the worst of both worlds.
A zoo.
Exactly, dude. My love of monkeys and bears come together in this atrocity that hates trees. Much like me, I hate trees as well.
It is a Darwinian nightmare.
I have no trees in my yard for a reason, and I'm in the process of trying to get my neighbor's dead ass tree, Dorothy, R.I.P., trying to get that tree cut down.
You cut her tree down. Nothing stops the ghost from coming over.
The tree's dead. And it's going to cause her home, what sits idle, damage.
Right, but that might be the item that keeps the paranormal at bay.
Thank you.
I don't think the paranormal is at bay. I'm still convinced that when I cut the yard, she watches me.
I mean, you're not being tormented.
You don't know.
If she watches you from over there, then it's at bay.
Then
She's
it's
just
at
over
bay.
there.
She's watching you.
You
Thank
take
you,
the tree,
Chris.
she's going to come over and take your fucking beer.
All right, fine.
Yeah, now you're not going to do it.
Yeah, no, I won't. Fuck that.
You ain't taking my crispy boys.
Yeah, leave my goddamn crispy boys alone, you sons of a bitch.
My blood orange crispy boy.
I went to Prison City, the local place here, Prison City Brewery, got the Crispy Boy sampler pack, and it's dangerous.
Oh boy.
It's dangerous. As a matter of fact, I spent the whole afternoon in the yard catching up on the Heebie Jeebies podcast. Our girl Hebe over there in England.
Awesome.
Yeah, doing her stuff. Check out that podcast. I listened to her show, just getting shit faced in the yard.
That's
and I was
good
like,
way
these are delicious.
to spend an afternoon.
These are delicious, and the Mexican flying fiends are fucking awesome. There you go.
Fair enough.
I'm in.
That's a plug for Hebe. Check out her podcast.
Absolutely,
she is
do
fucking
it.
awesome. Back to Brass Knocker Hill,
Okay.
Rob.
Yes, because we're not done yet.
Here we go.
81-year-old Brass Knocker Hill resident Frank Green became so concerned he began a shotgun vigil, claiming, "I'm very fond of some animals, but I reckon this creature could be dangerous, and I'm taking no chances."
Smart man.
The following summer, a police officer, Inspector Michael Price, claimed to have caught a glimpse of an animal which he identified as a chimpanzee. Boy, that's scaling it right down.
Yeah, that sure is, man. And you know what? Just putting it out there, don't shoot the chimp.
Fair enough.
Yeah, just don't, man.
Sadly, he was unable to capture the beast. No, not sadly. I mean, thank God. Thank fucking God, because his face is still intact, presumably.
I know, but,
yeah.
Man, that poor thing running around the woods all confused and shit, all fucked up. You don't know what it's going to do. This is my monkey right here. Everyone on Patreon can see me do my monkey.
Yeah, no, you know.
No, it's a solid. Solid monkey.
Fucking Master Chris over here.
Yeah.
Notice no mention of the master chimp.
Yeah.
He's silent on the master
Yeah,
chimp.
This
up
isn't
with
because
that?
this isn't a master chimp.
No,
Okay.
clearly.
All right.
You guys are dumb.
if you're not watching Chris on Patreon, you are fucking missing out, man. Let me tell you.
It's clearly not a master chimp.
Holy shit.
I mean, we know. You told us. So there it is. Okay.
Oh, man.
Although Price was unable to explain how the disparate descriptions of this unusual creature, including the strange ocular markings, lumbering bear-like body, and unusually large predatory canine teeth, could fit within the biological parameters of a chimp, he remained convinced of his hypothesis. Quote, We were sure this mystery creature would turn out to be a monkey of some sort. After all, men from Mars aren't hairy, are they? I don't know where that little pithy quip comes from.
What's that?
Like
that's
who he's condescending to at this point.
It's a weird go fuck yourself.
It really is.
Yeah.
Who's that addressed towards?
Yeah, I don't even know.
What if men on Mars were hairy?
Yeah.
Then what, asshole? You were wrong.
Fair enough.
Exactly. Master class of men on Mars that are hairy.
There it is.
Yeah. That's where the fucking Sasquatch come from, dickhead.
The dig about this entity's otherworldly origins notwithstanding, the beast in question has yet to be positively identified. Our third entry in the freakiest English cryptid sweepstakes takes us back toward London, some 115 miles east of Bath, where we'll encounter a winged weirdo with the cumbersome designation, of bat-winged monkey bird.
Oh.
It's called the bat-winged monkey bird. Nobody gave it a better name.
There's no cool like
bird.
the fearsome frolicker of Frockusville.
That would have been a good one.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
It's from Cumbersome.
Yeah.
Not sure about this name.
Okay.
No, I mean it's between London and I don't know wherever she's from, and I think it was anyway, we'll get to the sighting. I'm not going to give anything away, but in all fairness, it was a child that saw it, and so it might have been the child's designation that has remained. If that's the case, it is a deserving appellation.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
Right. So we'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
In the July 26th, 2012 entry in his blog, the esteemed doctor wrote, "The following winged wonder only became known to me in mid-October 2007, when Jan Patience, acting editor of the now, I don't think he mentions it, defunct British monthly magazine Beyond." Oh, so he does. So I'm an idiot. So the editor of the now defunct magazine Beyond, for which I contributed a major cryptozoology article every issue. Sorry, I only read for a living, so forgive me. Brought to my attention a truly extraordinary email that she had just received from a reader. At that time, I was preparing a lead article on lesser-known British mystery beasts for the next issue of the magazine. So the email reached me in time for me to investigate it further and include a full account of the case in my article, which was in the issue of Beyond, released in January 2008. And it is this account of mine that I shall now quote from here, which is what, again, I will be quoting from. The email in question has been sent by Jackie Hartley of Tunbridge Wells, Kent, bringing us back to the Bat Beast of Kent.
Nice.
Concerning a truly bizarre beast that she claims to have encountered on 3 totally separate occasions, and which she reports as follows. And now I'm going to do the rare double quote, where I'm quoting Jackie as quoted by Dr. Schuker.
Yep.
Back in 1969, I was 4 years old and traveling back from my auntie's house in London. Dad had been driving for about half an hour, and we were going through the countryside. I was in the back of the car when I suddenly heard an awful screeching scream. Mom and Dad were in the front chatting and heard nothing. It was twilight, and as I looked out of the back window into the trees, I saw what I can only describe as a monster. It had bat wings, which it unfolded and stretched out before folding back up again. Red eyes and a kind of monster monkey face with a parrot's beak, and was about 3 feet in height. So that is a fucking package. I mean, at least cumbersome as the name is.
No, now it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah, no, that thing's fucking gnarly, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's crazy. To my 4-year-old mind, it was terrifying, and I had nightmares for weeks. I did not have a name for this thing in my vocabulary, so I called it the bat-winged monkey bird. As we said, makes perfect sense. You're fucking 4.
Fair.
As it seemed to be such a weird mixture of animals. I saw it again late one night when I was 11 from the back window of the car on our way home from Hastings. I think we were traveling through Roberts Bridge, and I saw it for the 3rd time last year. It was 4:30 in the morning, and I was woken by the same horrible screeching sound. Thinking someone was being murdered in the street, I jumped out of bed and ran to the window, catching the tail end of it as it flew past. I knew immediately what it was. The same horrible monster thing I had seen all those years ago. The bat-winged monkey bird was back. She added, "I would be very grateful if you or any of your readers could shed any light on or put a name to this thing." So, again, seeing this once, weird, fucked up. When she's
Yeah,
that
but
young, you can
it's-
make a mistake.
It follows you apparently.
3 times throughout your life. That brings it to a whole other paranatural level
It's
of
there,
stalking.
dude. It's there for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It is bizarre.
Unless a lot of people in the area see it, but if not, this is happening strictly to you and just you.
I mean, if it's a kid, it's like it could have been a fruit bat, another thing that escaped from like a private collection or a zoo,
A menagerie.
a menagerie.
Yeah.
And why not? And maybe it looked like it had a beak because it's got a long snout, unlike traditional bats found in England.
Fair.
Other factors, flying foxes, shit like that.
Yeah.
3 times over your whole life.
Yeah.
All right, that's fucked.
It might be a demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
All right, yeah.
Hard to tell.
Definitely.
It's a demon.
Saying could be a demon.
Shuker continued, when Jan forwarded Jackie's email to me, I was naturally extremely intrigued and replied directly to it, requesting any further information that Jackie could send. In response, I received this second email together with 2 accompanying pictures, one of which is Jackie's own representation of what she saw, and it's pretty dope. I mean, obviously an amateur drawing, but it's interesting. And then other artists have tackled it, especially for this bigger article that Shuker wrote for the Beyond magazine.
Oh, cool.
So we'll be able to include all of that,
Nice.
and you guys will be able to see that. And the other, a photo of her taken at the age when she experienced her first sighting of the monkey bird. So one of the pictures is her drawing with just a picture of her as a little kid right beneath it.
Okay, cool.
Quote, my most recent sighting was at 4:30 a.m. on 10/19/06, so October 19th, 06, outside my bedroom window. I saw the tail end of it fly past after the awful screeching noise woke me up. My address is in Tunbridge Wells in Kent. The time before that, I was on my way back from Hastings in Sussex, having just passed through Robertsbridge. While the first time I saw it, we were coming back from London, heading toward Kent, and had been traveling for about 20 to 30 minutes. The creature was sitting in a tree in a field off to my right. As for my parents, they just laughed and said I must have fallen asleep and had a nightmare. They weren't interested and simply dismissed it, even though I had nightmares about it coming to get me. Although the creature looked solid flesh and blood and made an awful sound, I think it could be paranormal in origin, as I have never seen or read about anything that even vaguely resembles it. But if it is real, I would love to know if anyone else has seen it. There is no doubt, wrote Dr. Shuker, that this grotesque entity, as described by Jackie, does not correspond even vaguely with any known species of animal native to Britain. And even when venturing beyond the known into the realms of cryptozoology and zooform phenomenon, which is sort of like paranormal entities that resemble on the surface cryptids. I guess a good example would be Mothman. Like things that look like they should be flesh and blood animals or entities, but that really seem to have a much deeper paranormal element to them. That's what he refers to as zooforms.
It's cool, man. I like that.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Master zooform.
Absolutely. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Settle down.
Hey.
Yeah.
Settle down.
Hey.
There is little to compare with it, especially from the British Isles. Perhaps the nearest is the Cornish owlman, which we covered in an episode I did not cite, so you can find it if you want it.
It's out there.
A weird owlman composite spied in the vicinity of Mawnon Church, Cornwall, mostly during the 1970s. It's a really fascinating series of events, so check it out if you're interested.
Yeah, so it's super weird that only she's seeing it. Like, there's no other...
Well, she's only reporting it.
Okay, true. We don't know if anybody else.
I mean, that's fair.
It.
That's
but
very fair.
It's just kind of odd that you would see it when you were 4, and then it just pops in various parts of your life. It seems very specific. It seems very personal.
It does. I mean, and surely that that offers its own problems, its own red flags.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
but it's not like doing anything. It's just hanging out.
Well, it's screeching. It's
but
scary. It's not. But it's here. It's not attacking.
You're right. But
yeah, it is just.
That's what I'm saying. It's doing animal things. It's not like doing something.
Like, you would think her parents would have heard the screech in the car.
100%.
Caught in a discussion. You can get lost in a conversation in a car, especially, but you'd hear something.
Right.
Maybe it wasn't as loud as she thought it was. The other 2 times, I'm getting the impression she was alone. Or no, she was
Yeah.
in the car again, I think, when she was 11. So she was not
There was one
alone.
where she was like in the house and she's like, someone's being murdered in the street. And it was just the monkey,
Yeah.
the Batwing monkey hanging out and just being a dick.
That's just weird.
Just being loud in the neighborhood, man.
But
Which, if it's in the street making that noise, somebody else would hear it. If it's loud enough to wake you up,
But somebody else could have seen it and just decided not to report it.
Well, that's
Right.
right. Or just heard a screech.
Sure.
I mean,
just wondered.
if she's seen it that often in the area, there's got to be, if anybody else is seeing it, they've got to be seeing it just as frequently.
When
For
I
sure.
hear ungodly night screeches and am dive bombed by a featherless pterodactyl,
Yeah.
you insist it's a
yeah.
turkey vulture.
You were attacked by a dinosaur, friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, a lot of times when you say these things out loud to your friends, you get what's called a raft of shit.
You should have killed it and turned its bones into fuel.
I was carrying garbage out to the dumpster. I had barely time to be terrified. Scooched down on my haunches.
You have very large hands.
Yeah, nobody
well,
wants
it was
that.
flying too high above to grab.
You could have taken it.
It's like 10
out.
feet up.
You
I can't
wouldn't
reach
do
that high.
dude. If you were into a dumpster at night and you just heard the flapping and a screech, you drop your shit and book.
That's exactly.
I had laundry in the middle of the daytime in a parking lot, and there was a little praying mantis flew at me. I dropped it and booked, almost died. So just imagine something screeching loud in the dark and
Behind
flapping.
you.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
be
funny.
right.
You know, I just did run from something. What the hell did I run from? I don't know if I was at work. Yeah, I think I was at work and something, I don't know if it was a bird fluttering around a garage, and I was like, oh, and I fucking
So I'm saying, when
jetted.
you're not expecting
Yeah.
anything like that, it's right.
I expect more from Rob though. He's a man. He's a master man,
I was screeched behind.
Oh man,
dude.
All right,
He's
thank you for that, but
he's
no.
gonna strangle the bird and turn its bones into fuel to power your vehicle.
Had it attacked me, I might have done better.
Okay.
But I wasn't about trying to kill it. I was about being startled by an abnormally loud screech directly behind
Yeah,
me, like
right.
a few
That's-
feet
Yeah.
above
Yes.
me.
Okay.
And then by the time I looked up, it was shooting right over my head away from me.
It wanted the trash.
I mean, I don't
and
know.
you could have delivered death.
And then it soared up into
Why
the sky.
though?
But it was a little hairless, pterodactyl sounding motherfucker. Hairless, featherless. Didn't have hair either.
How does it fly if it ain't got feathers?
I don't know. But I saw some weird shit.
Just a weird bald-looking bird flying at you.
Dark forces.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, dude. There you go.
Maybe
Dark
it was
forces.
incarnated by a neighbor. I don't know.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's your own personal pumpkin head.
Ooh.
That's terrible.
The pumpkin head of the complex.
Thank God I haven't seen
Right.
it in like forever. So that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was just a natural fucking form of regional fauna.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably a turkey vulture.
You never know, dude. Batwing monkey man or
But it
batwing
looked
monkey
weird.
things.
I didn't notice feathers, and it screeched so fucking loud, like right at the back of my head, that it fucking definitely made me jump. I did not drop the garbage bag. I did duck. I looked up, I watched it soar away, and then continued to throw the garbage away and
Yeah.
got on with my, day
Yeah.
Okay.
or night. But all right. So I'm just saying it's not always easy to come forward with this shit.
I know. I understand. I get it.
So,
I get it.
Good for Jackie.
Yeah, totally.
So now we're going to move on to what will be the final case for the night. Rounding out part one of our exploration of Britain's bizarre beasts is an account hailing from Derbyshire regarding one of the most amazing and mammoth monstrosities ever seen in the already bugaboo-ridden Peak District, or the rest of the world for that matter. A colossal critter unsubtly referred to as the boneless terror.
Dude.
Savor this one. This is this is a
the
classic.
boneless dare.
Okay. All right.
I love this fucking thing so much.
this
Okay.
name. Dude, the name fucking shreds.
It's a quasi kaiju, absolutely fucking bizarre thing,
All right, man.
and it's too quick. But I love
right,
this
dude,
story
fucking bring it, dog.
so much. In his blog, Dr. Shuker wrote, "There are many British folk tales telling of encounters with an eerie, amorphous entity, animate and sinister, variously nicknamed boneless or simply it." So apparently there's a long legacy of legends of things like this.
Okay.
Okay.
Sometimes they're vaporous, foggy things. Sometimes it's like
Yeah.
the invisible thing of Warminster. I might be saying that wrong. Another British heavy thing that came around during a UFO flap and seemed to like crush people to the ground.
Oh, all right.
Or that
hey.
weird wet tongue thing. Do you remember we talked about? Oh, was it in? Maybe it was in the Sky Creatures. Like this weird thing. This guy said it felt like a dog's tongue.
Oh,
that
shit.
Pressed
That
him
sounds
down into
familiar.
like
Yes, I do remember
a
this.
ditch.
I do
In
remember
maybe
this. yes.
Scotland or northern England somewhere.
I totally remember this.
And
Yeah.
one of our cloud creature ones, I'm totally drawing
Yeah,
blanks.
no, I totally
like I say,
remember
it's been a day. It's been a day. So I usually reference these things better. I don't have it. But anyway, things like that get to be boneless horrors. This is just one of them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. He then pivoted to discuss the specific creature in question, writing, "One moonlit September night during the 1950s, however, railway man John Davies was riding his motorbike back home to his cottage in Derbyshire's Longdendale Valley, I think I said that right, when he saw what appears to have been a bona fide boneless crossing the road not far ahead. Moments earlier, he had felt an uncanny, seemingly reasonless compulsion to brake. So I've had feelings like that, to just hit the brakes. What that stopped me from doing at night during a blackout, driving home from my then girlfriend's house, so we're talking early 90s, a long time ago, I was going to take a right onto, I think it was Washington. And back then we had big factories there before they burned down, like old husks of buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pitch black and you couldn't see through it. And I always took a right there and went the back way home to where I lived then. And at this time I just decided to hook back into the arterial, the big expressway that goes through our town, and keep going to the next turn. As I did that and turned quick, I saw a train going through. But because there was a blackout, the things weren't down, there were no lights, I would have just whipped right into this train going through.
Oh,
but I had
dude.
this like gut feeling. Now, I'm not saying it was a psychic thing. I'm not saying I was being warned by like a dead loved one. It might have just been a facet of my mind catching it that wasn't conscious and telling me don't fucking turn here.
Yeah, sure.
And so
Right.
it seemed like a subconscious response. I don't know, but I know I turned. This guy is going to have the urge to brake, but for a completely different fucking reason.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's much cooler than mine, even though I'm glad I didn't die. So, I mean, that's good.
We are all glad that you didn't die.
As he braked, he spied what looked like a huge black slug sliding across the road and up the moor, making a scraping noise as its massive but nearly shapeless form moved along. Up closer, it looked a little like a massive whale and even possessed an eye-like structure. Davies himself was quoted as stating, "It was like a massive black slug sliding across the road and up the moor. It had a head just like a whale, and a white eye with a black pupil going round and round." So I guess
Like
big
a cyclops?
bulbous fucking head.
Like
The
a,
eye
like,
he
like
saw.
a googly eye?
Like
Yeah,
a googly, like what was it,
Right.
Mad Eye Mooney from like Harry Potter or something,
But
just
there's
like an eye
only-
that's just
there's
doing what it
only
wants.
one eye?
He saw one eye. He doesn't.
Okay.
Davies doesn't say if it was just perched right in the middle of the head and it was a cycloptic creature,
Right.
or if he just saw one side of the thing,
right,
and it was
right.
just one eye like looking around.
Yeah.
Weird,
So
dude.
I want to say cyclops. It's only one eye described, and so I'm really desperate to call it a cycloptic
Okay.
creature,
All right.
but we can't really honestly
Oh,
say
sure.
that.
Fair.
But that
Fair
makes it
and
even cooler.
balanced.
But that big bulky whale head, the huge slug body, just crawling up the fucking
Yeah, where the fuck
Moors.
did that thing come from?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean,
know.
it's huge.
a truly haunting sight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
okay.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Perturbed as he was by the encounter, Davies risked his reputation by asking others if they too had seen this mastodonic oozing horror, about which Dr. Schuker wrote, Davies later learnt with a T, that's a fun word, that it had been seen by others. One such observer was a friend of Davies who had seen it sliding across the valley below Ogden Clouth, C-L-O-U-H. I'm going to go with Clough. for now.
Clow, yeah.
Where it was also observed on a separate occasion by another of his friends. Both of them were convinced that whatever it was definitely evil.
Oh.
And both fled in a panic after spying it, end quote. So that's fucked up. I mean, seeing something this big, this weird, is going to scare you. And if you're that scared and you have no context for fear, I mean, besides mortal fear, except for maybe what you learn in church, then maybe you associate things that scare you with evil.
Of course.
That just makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Or maybe this thing was like from the depths of hell
Did it come from hell? Yeah.
and was
dude.
oozing, a diabolical aura.
Yeah, dude.
We don't know.
It's giving off real fucked up vibes.
So both have to be weighed in, but I could see just seeing something this big and this weird being like, fuck you.
No, yeah, for sure.
It's clearly evil.
Yep.
It's evil. What? Okay. What's the crawling?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's existing.
It won't
Yeah.
it won't make eye contact and stay
Because
focused.
its eyes too fucking big.
It is weird.
And it's real wonky, too.
It's wonky as shit.
Yeah, it's weird.
Evil or not, how the hell could a creature of this size exist without being discovered on this island nation? Unless, of course, we're talking about a marine creature that was perhaps accidentally washed ashore, though I have to admit, in my big fat rush, because this was kind of a cataclysmic fucking day, to finish this, I don't know where this is in relationship to the ocean as opposed to the
I
other.
mean, there's an
okay.
ocean near there somewhere.
Eventually, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
Or,
Yeah.
more disturbingly, if it wandered up on land to feast on tasty terrestrial critters, including perhaps human beings.
Oh, it come from the sea to eat the man. Or it came from hell to eat the man. Or it came from space. Get the hat now. Yeah, you like that?
Are you quoting the Bible?
I plugged the hat.
Came
I'm
from
like,
the sea
quick,
to eat the man.
if you're watching the Patreon,
Yeah, I
get
know.
the hat. T-Public, Hell or Space.
Leave
Yeah.
the sea, eat the man.
Yeah. All right, man. This thing is fucking here to eat people.
Let's wrap it up and we'll discuss.
Okay.
This episode serves as our opening volley in the wild, weird, and woolly world of Great Britain's bizarre bestiary. In the weeks and months to come, we will continue our English odyssey along with those of Scotland and Wales, with more stories including malicious monkey men, vampire caterpillars. You're going to enjoy that one, guys.
Oh, man.
Burrowing, corpse-devouring mud dogs, and other equally inexplicable terrors from across the pond.
Oh, shit. Bizarre Beasts of Britain, Volume 1, England's Eerie Cryptids. Yeah, this last one, this boneless thing, man, just the size of it. I guess you'd almost have to say, okay, if this is some sort of like terrestrial being, then obviously maybe something from the sea. From the ocean.
Well, nothing else is reasonable.
Nobody's not going to see a whale-sized land-based.
I mean, then
It's
again,
not hiding
man, you know
anywhere.
how I feel about things that are in the earth, burrowing things.
No, you do love that.
I do love that.
Maybe it came from a sea cave
I'm just not buying it.
through the earth and came up wherever this is.
Oh,
I'm just trying to give you one.
okay. All right, so it could be from the sea, but it actually dwells deep within the hollow caves of the sea. That's pre-hollow Earth.
Okay, yeah, that's
right,
what I was saying.
sweet.
Yeah,
Pre-Hollow Earth.
Pre-hollow Earth. That's that weird
Okay.
pre-part that you get to. Where you're like, where am I? Is it hollow Earth? Like, nah, it's like the lobby. You gotta like
It's
wait.
not
a
even
little.
the lobby. You're just outside.
It's like
the
a
whole
mud
fucking
room.
thing.
It's like the mud room of the hollow
Oh my
Earth.
God,
You gotta wait.
the mud room of the hollow earth.
Yeah, so it is super weird, but man, the size of that thing though is like the other stuff on here. All right, I get it. You know, obviously you've got the weird phantasmagorical batwing monkey thing,
Yeah,
but the size of this thing surely is just like. Now, but other people have seen it. Didn't we cover a story, and I don't remember exactly where it was, but it had to do with like some kaiju size thing on the moors?
so I don't.
It was like a giant
know.
or something. We for sure covered
Oh
it.
yeah, no. All right. So
Was
what
it
you're
back-
talking about? Oh God, I won't remember it. But it was about like literally a lumbering demonic giant and
Yes.
this like cult-like coven
Yeah.
that surrounded them, and it also maybe tied into a known serial killer couple.
Yes. Yeah.
That
I
were
forget the name, but I
dealing with
remember.
this.
I do remember
This
the case
was
from England.
not a sloppy blob-like thing. This
No,
was just this
but-
huge. Like,
Yeah.
it was like a demonic outtake from that fucking great anime we all love about the giants that eat people.
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan. Draw them legs all the time. It was sort of like an
Ooh,
Attack
the
on Titan
slug
outtake.
Titan. No one sees that coming.
I mean,
Nobody.
it's
Yeah,
possible.
I know, right? It just slimes over the wall. You're like, yeah, it's gross. It left a big fucking slime trail everywhere. Gross.
So
All right, so if that thing on the moor was conjured by occultists,
this.
what's that saying this thing wasn't conjured by occultists?
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah,
That's
that's
what
valid.
I was trying to tie that together. Of like, we had a story once
Okay.
where this thing was
Okay.
on the moors, and the super black, cool, magic, evil people, the black magic folks are like, come to life or whatever. And
I hate to say it because I mean I made it a point to say this is less metaphysical probably and more corporeal, but I mean, barring something from the ocean, which is obviously chock full of weird big
Yeah.
shit that we don't know. Though most of the time it does not come on land because it wouldn't behoove it, because it's a marine creature,
Yep.
because we would see it more often. I guess being conjured by, people looking to fucking master the diabolical forces, the master occultist, if you will.
yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
you
think
can't
about
rule it out.
Think about Britain, though, too, dude. It is an island. There's not a whole hell of a lot of room there where these things could be living as cryptids.
Okay.
Because it's an island.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before with Sasquatch, okay?
Yeah.
And we had a whole thing about, not Ickley Moore, Cannock Chase. We had a whole thing
Yes.
about Cannock Chase. All right, so What if most of the creatures over there in Britain are not necessarily terrestrial cryptids, but conjurings? Everything is a conjuring over there.
All right. Well, let's not couch it in the phrase everything. Look what you did. Chris is hissing you.
Everything's a conjuring. You literally said that.
I did. I'm saying, what if all of this? What if all of this weird shit could be like coming through portals, not necessarily occultists, but coming through some sort of portal and or being conjured by folks that are delving into the dark
some
arts.
interdimensional,
Some
entities,
interdimensional, because
some
there's
conjured
not enough,
from other dimensions and or planes of hell.
they're not coming here naturally. This is not like a natural, like these things live here and we don't fucking know about it, because there's
That's
no
fair.
way that you don't know about it.
I would agree with that part. 100%.
If it lives in the water, then there's a good chance they don't know about it.
Okay, I'm going to give you the water one.
Yeah, the water is only thing that.
I'm feeling charitable.
Wow.
How dare you?
How dare you, master? The master boneless slug. No, the whole boneless thing, water wise, depending on where it's located.
But let's not
for sure
take lakes off the table either, because what this reminds me of are some of those early sightings of Nessie by like the Spicers and Arthur Grant, who was like riding his motorcycle, and I think the Spicers saw this like slug-like thing going across the.
It was on land.
Yep, going
the land Nessie.
I don't know if it was going towards the lock or away from the lock, but it was like right on the road, right next to the lock.
Totally.
And it had like a dead sheep in its maw.
Yeah.
And it looked slug-like according to their description. So what if Nessie was always one of these slugulons, or conversely, what if this happened to be one of these slugulons and it just was seen in the vicinity?
I imagine it looking.
What if they migrate from lake to lake in like, times of yore when there wasn't a lot of night traffic, and they can just function as not marine critters, but like freshwater animals, where they live most of their lives in the depths of these things, but it can occasionally move out for food or hunting or
for
whatever
this one,
reason.
yeah, no, I could definitely see that being a possibility for sure. But we all know about Nessie. Who brought Nessie here?
Well, you would say Aleister Crowley.
Okay, thank you. I would.
I would not agree.
Okay.
Because the sightings go back long before Mr. Crowley's participation in any ritual at the lock.
Okay. Well.
Or birth.
Well, we could do the timeline on that.
St. fucking Columbo. Is it Columbo? Now I'm thinking it's like the old guy with the fucking trench coat.
Columbo.
Columba, I think. Whoever that fucking saint was.
Just keep us in Columbo. That's fine. So, but I guess if we're talking
1500s,
if we're talking cryptozoology here, I mean, somehow this shit is living in Britain, and it is going under the radar, and no one has any physical evidence besides DNA. The only real cryptids they got are the alien big cats. Honestly.
Well, and they're not cryptids anymore. DNA has proven they're real, or at least this one is real, that they got the hair sample.
And we had the whole Cannock Chase episode. We talked about werewolf world.
Yeah.
Just saying.
The dimension of werewolves.
Yeah, man, if Cannock Chase is the big fucking portal where all this shit's coming through, dude, I dare say it makes more sense than being actual, like creatures that live there, like corporeally. And I mean, in a corporeal nature. Can you say corporeally? Is that a thing?
Corporeally?
Yeah. How do you say that? Corporeally?
That's how I would say it.
Okay, weird.
Sure.
It sounds weird, right?
I mean, I've never said it.
Okay, I don't.
It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
No, I don't want you to taint your tongue. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you say it, you can never go back.
Yeah, you're ruined.
You've crossed the line.
Exactly. Don't cross that line. You're a good boy.
This thing, Jesus Christ, you and your fucking good boys. This thing is weird and awesome.
It is weird and awesome.
Too big to be true, but too amazing for me not to believe. Like, I fucking love that somebody claims to have seen this. I
want this to be around. I want to run into it myself. Just so I can
God.
I can run.
And it's not fucking with you, and it seems to be slow enough for you to escape, and it just seems to want to just slurp around.
It's not. Yeah, it's not
looking at you with its
anything.
fucking Google eye.
Yeah,
that's the deal.
It's no harm, no foul. It's just crossing the street.
I would like to think that it was like going from either like the English Channel to the Atlantic or vice versa, lake hopping, getting in, eating some local fish, maybe a fisherman or two. Then fucking at night slopping out, going to the next lake until it eventually made its way back to the ocean. That's why there's no more than this sighting and the other alleged sighting that Davy's friends claim to have had.
Yeah.
At good old Ogden Claw or whatever.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, out of all of them, I don't know, man. It's got that weird thing where I just feel like it could be conjured.
I mean, why not?
I don't know why.
They
man.
all could be.
No, I know.
Like,
know.
I mean, somebody could have hated that 4-year-old kid, Jackie, and just sent a fucking weird bat bird monkey thing, whatever it was
like a
called.
weird curse. Yeah, man.
And it was, and you know, maybe the worst part of the curse is when you start to fall asleep, when you're going to have the most fitful, wonderful sleep of your life. What a curse this would be. A weird monster is going to scream at you, wake you up, startle you awake, and make it impossible for you to sleep for the rest of that night. That's all this thing seems to do.
Yeah.
But that would be a terrible curse. Not every time you fall asleep, just when it's going to be a really good sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, if I hated somebody, that would be a pretty legit curse.
Not even the Lumi Labs can help at that point.
No.
Microdose.com. I'm not sure if they're
Maybe.
sponsoring this episode. I don't think they are. I think it's BetterHelp, but regardless.
Probably for the best.
Yeah. Get your gummies on. All right, man. Well, there you have it. Ship Beast of Britain Volume 1, England's Eerie Cryptids. We did it. Awesome. Excellent research, Robert.
Thank you.
Super fun story. And again, considering the odds that we all faced this week, I dare say we pulled it off,
Oh,
sir.
it's a miracle.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Good times.
I mean, we were struggling less than 2 hours ago, you and I, to like pull a story together. I'm like, all right, I got this one. And we did it.
Yeah.
I'm really proud.
No, we did. I drove super slow.
You did.
I took a long route. Chris was like, where the fuck are you going?
He's
I'm
going
like,
to the lake and
Yeah, we're
you
going
missed
to-
40 fucking turns.
going to
He's going
Montezuma.
20 miles an hour.
Yeah, I was told you.
I was
going
like,
slow,
I was
dude.
typing like the wind, and and Mark said, "I'm picking up Chris. I'm going to drive
We're
slow,"
just
and I'm like, "Thank you,
moseying.
motherfucker." And I was going as fast as I could, putting this shit together.
Oh, shit.
Thank you again, Dr. Carl Schuker.
Yes, thank you, Carl Sugar. That's
who
awesome.
was actually cool enough once to, when he was being interviewed by, why am I going to draw a blank here? Nick Redfern for his books, to mention that he had heard me on Coast to Coast and reference a story that I had told
no shit.
or had been reacted to
that's
actually on
awesome.
Coast to Coast about like this giant spider in Vietnam or whatever.
Cool.
And then he told it to Nick, who put it in, his big book of
Oh,
monsters
yes,
or something.
yes.
I wish
Yeah.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but now that I'm doing it, I don't remember anything. But I was like, oh, this dude
That's
knows who
awesome.
I am. This
Damn.
is great because
I know,
I've
right?
always loved his work.
Yeah,
he's
that's
written
great.
amazing books, definitely worth checking out. He's been in the field forever, and not only just the cryptozoological elements, but the zooform elements that we were talking about earlier, these things that are clearly paranormal entities that are manifesting as animals that shouldn't or couldn't exist, which was why the boneless horror, among others, I'm sure,
Right.
though I don't know
So it's
everything you would
zooform.
define as a zooform
Yeah,
thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
Which
Nice.
would really basically make it a conjured thing. Well, it doesn't have to be conjured. It could just be tulpa-esque. It could be...
An egregore.
Thank you. Yeah.
Talpas are personal.
I'll-
Egregores breathe.
I'll
the air.
still call it tulpa-esque.
Mm.
You can correct me every time.
I will be your buddy here to hold your hand and remind you about egregores.
And I just love that fluffy fucking green drive beast.
the Green Drive Beast. Is
I don't
pretty
know why it
cool.
doesn't do anything.
No,
but
it's
snarl,
adorable,
No, it's just
man.
hanging out.
snarl at a dude playing bowls.
It's a dog
Just
with
hanging
big
out.
old rabbit
Yeah.
ears.
He's
There
not
it is,
trying,
man.
not
No.
trying to fuck you
If
up.
that's even a thing, he just heard a noise. Who even knows?
Well,
what
he
it is?
turned around and saw something from Doctor Who.
Yeah,
That's
but
what he said.
True.
But that's right.
But it could have been
that's
something
not.
else. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
not.
man.
It definitely wasn't a mangy fox.
No.
Skeptically,
Doesn't seem like it.
obviously, with anything we talk about, skeptically, there's always a chance that
And-
it's just something completely misidentified.
Brass knocker. It
Well,
could
yes.
be an escaped spectacle bear or whatever those things are that have like the whitish,
Oh, yeah, totally.
yellow things around their eyes. That is definitely a bear, so it would be bear-like. Or it could be this weird hybrid beast that was unleashed on the wilds to eat small animals with its deadly 20 times bigger than a squirrel teeth
Yeah.
and tear up
And
trees.
it hates trees.
Or it could also be a conjured creature
Oh.
used to curse your neighbor's forest.
Yes, attack God's trees. Oh, tear down the trees. Goodbye, oxygen, one tree at a time.
I mean,
You're all
Well-
gonna suffocate.
so all of these things
See,
could
it's very
probably
evil.
be conjured.
Okay, maybe.
Oh shit. I mean, none of them really make sense as fucking
Not
any
really.
more than the Grampus or
No, they're all kind of following that same weird fucking category
like
of
a
it. This is
bird,
some weird
bat,
shit.
monkey.
Yeah.
Well,
Doesn't
yeah,
make
they're
sense.
just as weird as
Giant
anything
slopper?
else.
Yeah.
Really, if
Wait, I'm
saying if it's not misidentified, but
It's true.
well, of course. Yeah, that has to be. And I'm trying to what was the third one we did? We did the fucking weird rabbit dog,
yep.
the bat monkey bird beast,
Brass knocker and then
brass knocker hill.
and then
Okay, yeah. So
boneless,
yeah, we
yeah.
covered all.
There
all
it
of
is.
those motherfuckers could be conjured.
Well, there it is, man.
Britain is full of weird shit. And
It is.
as Mark mentioned earlier, it is too fucking small and geographically isolated to harbor these species naturally.
100%.
Can't happen. So
No.
it's either aliens, demons, things from the ocean that just made their way ashore briefly.
Don't forget the Hollow Earth.
Burrowing subterranean
Yeah,
monstrosities.
that's right, baby.
All right, that's on the list too.
There you
I'm
go.
making my hand list.
Yeah.
But
Dope.
none of it is
Crazy
things that
drunkards.
live there.
Drunkards.
Whimsy of a child.
Whimsy of a child.
Whimsy
Yeah,
of
It's
a
all that.
whimsy of a drunk
Dope
child.
drunkards, whimsy of a child.
There you go. All right. Those are all
Speaking of which.
possibilities. They are.
So, I love it. I love England.
No,
I
it's
love
good.
its
It's awesome.
stories.
It's wicked.
Like the Nameless thing and other. We've done so many stories. Like even the ones we mentioned earlier barely scraped the surface. When I taped in Cryptonaut taped in. When I typed that into Google, I was astounded by how many podcasts we have done. Lambton Worm.
Oh, yeah. There's tons of them, dude.
Cumberland
Whole hell of a
Spaceman.
lot of 'em
Like
out
it
there,
goes
man.
on and on. This place is
Yeah.
rife with amazing legends, most of which we haven't even touched on. yet.
Well, this is volume 1 coming back to volume 2 in a couple of weeks, months. You never know. Patreon, Robert. Let's give the shout out to the folks who support us over there at patreon.com/Cryptonaut Podcast.
God bless you, each and every one.
Yes.
Genma Kragoff.
Whoa.
One
shit.
word.
Thank you, Gedma Cragmoth.
That's great. Ruby Slider, in parentheses, Sliderized.
Hey, what's up, Ruby?
God.
She's back. She's out there supporting us on the Patreon. She's awesome. She's been
I'm
a long
loving
time
these
supporter.
names.
Thank you so much.
Oh my
Ruby.
God.
We appreciate it.
This might be one of my all-time favorites.
Holy shit.
Mr. Falcon Punch.
Hell yeah, Mr. Falcon Punch.
Dude,
Love
Falcon
it.
Punch.
Falcon Punch.
Falcon Punch.
Caleb Bunnage.
Thank you, Caleb.
Also awesome. Your friend Monty.
Thank you, Monty. My friend. We appreciate it.
Isaac Golden.
Hell yeah.
Oh, shit.
All caps.
All
Yep.
caps.
Ariana Hubbard.
Thank you, Ariana.
Old King 83.
Sweet.
Nice.
I like it.
Tanner Jansen.
What up, Tanner?
Last. Oh, certainly not least. Gnomad.
Gnomad. Hell yeah. Love it.
It's probably just nomad.
Maybe it's a
It
silent
could just
G.
be Nomad.
probably
but
just-
I'm not going to not pronounce it.
Gnomad.
I mean, it's probably nomad as in nomad,
well, yes.
like a traveling
I
gnome.
get it. Well, you know
Though
what?
I wanted to find something in there that said gonad, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, Gnome.
My 14-year-old inside was disappointed.
Well, yeah.
Well, there it is. Thank you for all your support over there. Patreon.com/Cryptonaut Podcast.
Thank
Got
you.
that new tier launched. So if you want some ad-free episodes every week and you want to watch us do the podcast,
the dubious pleasure of seeing us do it.
jump on
Doing
there.
it.
You can check that out. Got a lot of video content. We are just a little content machine.
It sure seems
There's so
that.
much going on. It's crazy.
I
It's
love
a
it.
lot of shit.
Yeah.
More
No,
chances
doing
for us
work
to
now.
hang out.
Dude,
Doing work.
We're putting a lot of shit out, man. It's awesome. Just check it out again.
Yeah,
Patreon.com.
Chris is like an editing beast.
Dude, he is this in video.
We got videos for
fucking
days.
everywhere, dog.
Days and
There's
days
so
and
many
days.
videos. Got some more fun ones coming out there too. So be sure to check that all out. The Instants and the Twitters and the Facebooks and socials of the medias. We're out there. We're doing it. We got some new merch over at hellerspace.com. TeePublic officially offers hats. Printed hats. Now,
Yeah.
you're rocking the embroidered one, but Chris and I got the new TeePublic printed hats.
Yeah.
I got the Heller Space Sabbath ripoff for Patreon. I'm going to change my hat up. I'm going to put on my other hat.
Nice.
Yeah, yep. The please don't sue us Danzig design.
Sure.
So we're gonna
Yeah.
do that. And Chris is rocking the dad hat. I'm rocking the trucker hat. So check all that out over there. And of course, we have the merch also available at CrowdMade, where you have the snapback and the dad hat that are embroidered.
Mm-hmm.
So check all that stuff out there. And yeah, I think that's it. Oh, we are putting videos weekly again on YouTube. So go there and check that out. That's
Yeah.
free. Everybody gets that one for free. That's not behind the paywall. Everyone gets the Thursday video for free. So check that out there.
True.
And yeah, you know, and again, I want to say shout out to our girl Hebe over there across the pond with the
Oh,
Hebe
yeah.
Jeebies podcast. It's so fucking good, dude. I was loving it. I saved the vampire episode because I wanted to listen to it back to back with the new one that she launched with her season 2, which just came out like last week. So I was checking that out. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
after Mark told me that, I'm like, are we literally like one of the only podcasts that doesn't do seasons? And
Yeah, we don't do seasons.
yeah, we just have a mass. But you know what? I figured the
Yeah.
benefit.
Yeah.
No one can say like we jumped the shark at season 6.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, we have,
Like you, good luck
No.
finding where we suck.
you could say like, oh no, you could say like episode 200
you
or
could,
whatever.
and
You're
you
like,
might be
oh, yeah.
valid in doing
Right.
so. In
Yeah,
fact,
there you
you're
go.
welcome to try.
There is 2 phases. There's like the drunk era.
There is a drunk
and
era,
then there's
yeah.
the sober era. The drunk era ended a while ago.
The
But
drunk, yeah, actually, people have talked about that before. Like Chris and Rob are sipping on like some whiskey, some Evan Williams, but I haven't been drunk potting in years. Like,
No.
I don't drink at all when we pot.
no,
Like,
when we talked, was it this pod where we just talked about me being hammered, or was it? Is it a future? When we were just talking about that.
No, we were talking about which pod you passed out literally while we were doing the pod.
Because you worked at a bar, we'd pick you up and you were just like, you were dead. Like you literally died on your table. I'm like, Robbie's dead.
Yeah,
like,
we just kept going.
Bitch. Yeah, no, there was.
That was a deal.
I think that right now it
was a turning point.
It was.
Like,
I
gotta not pass out at fucking pods.
We've been in a pretty good spot recently here.
I still love drinking during the pod.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. And then I'll just make sure that you keep drinking your waters. That's all.
Sure, I like to stay hydrated too.
We also,
this is just entertainment. This isn't like I was at the bar getting hammered.
Yeah,
right.
And I was already multiple beers in before we even fucking started.
Yeah, I think I may have potted recently with a couple of beers in me, like you and I did one, and I just like, I felt like I can't concentrate. I feel like shit. And I don't want to get hammered and try to like concentrate on something. I just don't like doing that.
Yeah, oh my God, that helps.
Oh my God, really? See, it does not help.
Not hammered.
Not hammered. Hammered is strong.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of whiskey.
We did some videos where I was drinking some fucking Jennies, and I was like, "Oh, Mark, you got to calm down."
Yeah, things like Slavish, they're talking like that.
Yeah,
oh man.
Yeah, it's not good, man. So there it is. There you have it. Thank you all so very much, and we're talking to you soon.
Peace out.
Peace out. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Bye.